Kit Kats can read.
People of BookTube, welcome to a video that really should not exist. In fact, we should go back into the past and completely erase what is about to happen in this video, because really, it comes to a point when you have to actually... But there are two girls that are to blame, but we are all to blame because we're all bad influences on each other, and it's a day out in London, and if you set me free in Foyles, then I struggled to leave without buying at least 10 books, put it that way. I rarely ever go to Foyles, and when I do, crazy things happen. So I went to London book shopping with Ella from Ella Reads Books and Sam from Cold Tea and Crumbs, and these are all the books that I am going to show you in this video. There are quite a lot, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail what the books are about, otherwise I'll be here forever and I will be holding a Zimmer frame in my next video if I do that. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to split these into categories of which shops and where I got these from. The first book I'm going to show you I got for free, and that is because Sam from Cold Tea and Crumbs was giving away some books. And she showed me a picture of the one she was giving away, and there was only one that I did not have, and I was like, give me that book. And that is Cracks by Caroline Green. Who do you trust when your whole life is a lie? Do you know what, to be honest, I've never heard of this book before. Never even heard of it, but for some reason it intrigued me, and it sounds like a fast-paced sort of thriller. So let's just hope it is. So the rest of these books I actually purchased. This next single book I got from Forbidden Planet, which sells a lot of graphic novels and comic books and sci-fi and lots of other books as well. And I managed to find Article 5 by Kristen Simmons. This is a nice, interesting, dystopian book, and I have it in my wish list. And you know what? I keep looking at it, and to be honest, when I saw this, because I've never actually seen this in Foyles, so that's a one-up that Forbidden Planet had on Foyles, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get this dystopian book because I love my dystopians. I think they're awesome, and I'm hoping that this is really, really good. So if anyone's read this, please do let me know. These next books that I'm going to show you I got from a second-hand bookstore called Skoob, and it's basically books backwards, which I thought was pretty interesting. And literally they had so many hidden gems there. They even let me and Ella go into the basement where things, well, some books weren't even priced yet, let's just put it that way, and there were just so many books. And we could honestly spend hours there, and eventually the guy was just like, I'm afraid we're gonna have to head back to the shop now, and we were like, okay. So, sad faces, but we did have our arms full of some awesome Maz books. I think I got like 11 books, and I only got a few more than her, but honestly, I'm happy with the books that I got. So I picked up Delirium by D. Shulman, and I actually have Fever by this very author, and this book, The Spine Isn't Broken, is practically brand new. This one was only £4. I thought that's a fantastic price for a book, and I love the covers of these books. They're really, really cool. And I know this is about a Roman gladiator in the 21st century girl, and they meet and things happen, and it just sounds like a really interesting YI sci-fi. Then I picked up Shades of Grey by Just Before. This is one of those books that I keep umming and ahhing over. Really, really want to pick up. It sounds really interesting. I've heard really good things about it as well. And I know this is based hundreds of years in the future. The world's a different place. And it's all about, I think it's about some sort of colours. Eddie is a red. He dreams of moving up the ladder. And then it's all about black and white and shades of grey. I don't really know, but I love the cover to this book. That's really, really cool. This one is kind of used, and this is like £4.50, and I was like, do I pick it up? Do I? But you know what? I was like, it's about time I picked this book up. This next book is a book that I keep seeing absolutely everywhere. People keep buying it, people keep talking about it, and you know what? I'm just like, shut up. I'm going to buy this book now just to shut you all up, and I'm going to read it and see what all the fuss is about, because I'm like that with books that everybody is reading. I like to know what everybody is reading. I did it with The Girl on the Train, I did it with 50 Shades of Grey, and so I'm going to do it with The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. This book's actually really gorgeous. I love the cover to this book, and the pages are blue, and this book is practically brand new, absolutely practically brand new, and it's £4, literally £4. It's absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. I had to pick it up. I know this is based in the past, 1686, so it's a different sort of thing that I usually read, because I don't really read historical fiction. I don't tend to like it, but you know, it might surprise me. I need to go out of my depth, and I've heard really good things about it, so hopefully I can read this, and hopefully I will enjoy it. But if you've read this, please let me know. This next book sounds really interesting, and Anna actually kind of made it sound really good for some reason, and this is The Hit by Melvin Burgess, and this is about a drug that is death, and you take it, you have a week to live, and I believe it is about this guy, and I think he falls in love with somebody just as he's either about to take it or has taken it. I'm not entirely sure, but this book is practically brand new as well, and there are 2 copies of it, so Ella picked up one as well, so we're going to hopefully buddy read this. This would be awesome to buddy read. But yeah, for £4, absolutely fantastic, and I look forward to reading this. This next book that I picked up was actually the first one that I picked up in the shop, and that is Far From You by Tess Sharp. I love the cover of this book, and I have been really wanting to read this. This is actually a proof copy. It came out March last year in the UK, and I'm so excited because I've heard really good things, and for £4 as well, you know what, I'm really happy that I managed to finally find this, because I've been waiting for it to appear in the shops and it just hasn't. And I don't know, there's something about second-hand shops, I like looking at books from. I think it's just really special that someone else has had it and perhaps read it, and it's just great to pass these books on because they all deserve to be loved. So hopefully I enjoy this book when I go around to reading it. I'm really excited, but again, if you've read this, do let me know. This next book that I picked up, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get, but I was like, for the price I'm going to have to. It was £3.50 for a brand new copy of Curtsies and Conspiracies by Gail Carriger. This is the sequel to Etiquettes and Espionage, which I do have, and I was like, but it's £3.50. So hopefully I do like the first book, because I haven't read it, but I'm super excited, and these books just sound really interesting. This next book I was so excited to find. I picked it up straight away. I was like, that is one book that I've been meaning to get, and it is Us by David Nichols. He's the author of One Day, Start of a 10, which are big books in the world. Everybody loves it. I've had fantastic things about this book, and it just, you know what, I really want to read it, and it's brand new, £4, crazy, had to get it. And then I managed to find a book proof of Alice and the Fly, and this is a book that is about phobias and obsessions, isolation, dark corners, and families and friendship, and preserved secrets, but it's about love, finding love in any forms of it and nurturing it. And this came out January this year, and this just sounds really cool and interesting, and yeah, just phobias, it just sounds really interesting. I've got phobias myself, you know, so it will be really cool and interesting to get around to reading this. And then I managed to find Beautiful Creatures, the manga, which is freaking just what? This was only £5, and I'm super excited to read the graphic novel, the manga of the first book in the Caster Chronicles series, and just see what this graphic novel is about. But it's beautiful, and there's no creases, there's no defects to the book, so I was like, that's a bargain considering it's a graphic novel, and we all know that graphic novels can be expensive. This next book I found was Envy by Greg Olson. This book kind of reminds me of The Ring, with the bath and the dark hair, and I believe that this is just like an eerie sort of thriller, and it is about Caitlin, and she dies. Was it suicide, murder, who is to blame? So it sounds really interesting. Oh, it's inspired by a ripped from the headlines true crime. that's interesting. This next book I picked up straight away. It is a book that one of my colleagues at work actually recommended for me to read, so I put it in my wish list, and when I found it I was like, that is awesome. And this is High Fidelity by Nick Hornby. It is a movie, so this is the book that is based around the movie, or the movie based around the book, whatever you want to call it. And she said it's really, really good, and yeah, I would like to read it so that I can let Amanda know if I have enjoyed it, and if she's wrong, I'm going to hit her with a book. If she's right, we're going to be even bigger friends. This next book I'm super excited to read actually, because I haven't read a book by this author before, and I know she writes in verse, which is really, really interesting. So I managed to find Crank by Ellen Hopkins, and yeah, this book looks like it hasn't been read either, and it just sounds really, really cool, and it just looks like a real quick read because it is written in verse, like as you can see here. And yeah, so this was £4 as well, and I'm super, super excited to get around to reading this. This next book that I picked up was The Bling Ring by Nancy Jo Sales. This is actually based on a true event where Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, Orlando Bloom and Rachel Bilson robbed more than $3 million in clothing, jewellery, shoes, handbags were reported missing. And it just sounds really interesting how it is based on a real event, like how do they get away with it, how do they do that. So I know there's a movie of this, and I was like, you know what, I want to find out more about this, and you know, if it's based on a true story, and oh, just, you know what, I'm super, super excited to find things out. I just think these sort of things, they're really interesting. This next book, I was really, really excited when Anna actually managed to find this in the basement. She was like, oh, the Silver Linings Playbook is over here, and I was like, oh my god, because I like to read the books before I see the movies, and I haven't read the book, I haven't seen the movies yet. I really, really want to, and I've been trying to see if this is in Waterstones, and it never seems to be. Whenever I wander into Waterstones, it never seems to be there, and so I was like, yes, give it to me, and she was like, okay. So she handed it to me. Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. I am super freaking excited about this book. I am so super excited to read this book. It just it sounds really cool, and obviously Jennifer Lawrence. How can you not love Jennifer Lawrence? And yeah, so I want to read this so I can watch the movie, and hopefully I will enjoy it. This next book I really, really want to read, and I actually found this version to be a lot more interesting than the others. There were so many copies of this in so many different editions, and you know, you had the movie cover, you had the normal cover, you had the mass paperback, and this is actually the American paperback, but there is an inscription inside that was actually written to somebody, and it says, to Audrey, I really hope you like this, call me at every plot twist so that we can discuss, Christine. It's not you, Christine, Paul and Bananas, is it? Oh, not. But yes, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Floppy version. The American floppy version. I just think it's more sentimental to have this version of the book. And, oh, you know I love my American books as well. But yes, both Sam and Anna have read this. They said it's really, really good. And I really, really want to read it, and I feel like I'm stupid for not reading it, and then I want to watch the movie as well. So I'm super excited. I really, really am, and hopefully I do enjoy it. This next book, George Lester, my good old blogger friend, he recommended this book to me, and when I found it I was like, oh my god, George recommended this book, and he really, really sold it to me last time I saw him in London. And this is The Art of Fielding by Chad Harbach. A is sorry, but yeah, this is like practically brand new as well. Practically brand new. Oh my god, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, George made it sound really awesome, and I am super excited to read this. I believe it's about a guy who's a baseball star at school, and yeah, I want to read it, you know. And the final book that I picked up from Skoob was this one. This book sounds really, really interesting. It's about a kid that's got Tourette's, and this is a really interesting title, When Mr. Dog Bites. and all the swear words, and the dog. The dog looks really funny, look at the dog. But this is by Brian Conaghan. This is like a brand new book, brand new, £4. And yeah, it's about Dylan. He's 16, he's got Tourette's, and it just sounds like really interesting. It sounds like it's going to be hilarious, just about how he deals with his life with having Tourette's, and I just think that's really interesting. It does sound like it's going to be really funny, and I love those books that you just laugh out loud. And I think I just really need to read this book, like so badly. But if you've read this, please let me know how it is, and yeah, I'm excited. And now we move on to Foyles, the death trap for me, literally. I get really excited when I go to Foyles, and I find it's very hard to leave without buying something. So the first book that I'm going to show you is of course an American edition. These are all pretty much American editions. This is How Not to Fall in Love by Lisa Brown Roberts. Look at this really summery cover. This absolutely gorgeous, published by Entangled Teen, and the back as well. Really gorgeous, floppy. And I'm super excited. It's a contemporary obviously, and I look forward to reading this. I'm super pumped. Next book that I picked up is The Boy Next Door by Katie Van Ark. What an awesome name, Katie. Yes. Partners for Life or Just on the Ice. This sounds really cool. Just about ice skating. A contemporary that is ice skating. Swoon reads. I hope that I will swoon at this book. I really want to read this book. I keep seeing it and I'm just like, I want to read it. This next book is called Epic Fail by Claire Lezebnik. I believe this hasn't long been out. And yet again, published by Hobbiteen. Hobbiteen, I tend to like a lot of their books, so I'm probably going to like this one. This next book is The Book of Ivy by Amy Engel, and this book sounds really cool about nuclear war, and Ivy, her mission is to kill the president's son, her soon-to-be husband, and return to family power. Sounds really awesome. Sounds awesome and kick-ass, and I've heard really good things about that as well. This next book I was so super excited to find in paperback, because this is another book that is on my wish list, and I was like, oh my god, and it was pretty good pricing as well. This is What I Thought Was True by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I read My Life Next Door, shown here, last year I believe. I really enjoyed the book, like I really enjoyed it, and it's a really good contemporary, and I've heard this one is a slightly more disappointment than that book, but knowing me, I probably will still enjoy this, because I tend to like books that people don't tend to like, if that makes sense. But it's a summer contemporary, it's the summer now, I'm looking forward to reading this. This next book I actually picked up signed. It is Cruel Summer by James Dawson. I think I have all his books now, and this one says Enjoy the Beach, and it's signed, so that's awesome that I managed to find this. But it sounds really awesome and kind of creepy, and like a really awesome thriller. And again, it's summer and it's an ocean and there's water and sunbathing. Bliss. This next book I am so super excited to read. So glad that I managed to find it, because it sounds really good. This is Paper or Plastic by Vivi Barnes. She is the author of Olivia Twisted, if you know what that book is, because I surely don't. But this is about a smart mart. Crime pays minimum wage. Alexis Dubois has just got caught shoplifting a tube of lipstick, and Lex is stuck in a bizarre world of big box retail, and she is trying to balance how to control mother, her position on the softball team, and her secret crush on the school geek. And oh my god, it sounds really cool, and yeah, it just sounds really awesome. Oh my god, this was one of the books I was just like, this is the book that I'm going to get today, and that is P.S. I Still Love You by Jennifer Hahn. This is newly released. I feel like this book has actually come on really quickly, but I am so excited to read this and continue on with the story. Like, you have no idea. I'm so excited. I'm gonna read it now. The next book I picked up is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. Look at the cover to this book, it's gorgeous. This is the US version, it's the floppy version, although the UK cover is exactly the same. But to find this, it was awesome. This is another book that is on my wish list. I'm super excited that I found this. I really want to read it. It sounds absolutely fantastic. This next book I auto picked up as well because I know that Becca Awesome Book Nut had read this and she said it was really, really good. Becoming Jen by Laurie Goldstein. Oh my god. Just, oh my god, this book is gorgeous as well. As Raz turned 16, she has shed her teen awkwardness, her body is lengthening and curving. As she always knew it would, the day has come for her Jinn ancestry to fully blossom, but beneath the magic fun, her new powers is the reality of her servitude, as her wish granting is controlled by a remote ruling class of Jinn known as the Afrit. She soon discovers that she may not be quite like the rest of them and her powers could endanger them all. But my god, this book is gorgeous. And look, it's purple and it feels really, really good underneath. And I am so super excited to read this. Get back in your cover, bitch. You must get back where you belong. This next book that I picked up is Controlled by Lady Kang. Controlled by Lady Kang. And this book sounds really cool. They all sound really cool. I sound really repetitive. But Catalyst is also out by Lady Kang and I was like, you know what? Control is in my wish list. And I didn't want to pick it up. And I was like, you know what? If Eleanor doesn't want to pick it up, then I'm going to have to pick it up for her. So I'm going to hopefully get around to reading this at some point this year and I will let Eleanor know what I thought about it. This next book I really, really want to read badly. Like, literally really, really badly. And the fact that this book was there, I had to get it. Forbidden by Tabitha Susanma. One of my books, like this book was written for me because things that are forbidden, things that are naughty, things that really shouldn't happen, bad boys and all that, all of the really negative sort of things about people in life, I'm really, really into that sort of thing. Brother and sister falling in love. It's kind of interesting, right? I've heard really, really good things about this book though, like really, really good things, and I really, really want to read this like pretty damn soon. The fact that I found it reminded me of how much I wanted to read it. Things like that happen though. When I see books I've seen around for like a year or so, for some reason I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna read it like near enough straight away. So hopefully I really, really enjoy this book as much as everybody else has. I had to get this book because I want to read it. Like, I really want to read it and I've heard really good things. And that is Poison Princess by Grizzly Cole. I had to get it because I just love my paranormal romances. I love these sort of books. And I remember picking it up from the library once and in the end I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it back in the library. I'm going to get it myself. So I finally picked it up and got it myself. I was like, you know what, I'm in the mood for my paranormal romances. I'm gonna get this book. I got another Suzanne Collins book, Something Like Fate. Something Like Fate. What if your soulmate is your best friend's boyfriend? Yet again another pretty sadistic sort of topic. But it's kind of interesting, right? I love my contemporaries. I love these sort of storylines. Hopefully I'm gonna love this book. The Truth About Us by Janet Girdler. Best-selling author of I'm Not Her. They never meant to fall in love. Yet again another thing. When people aren't meant to fall in love and yet they do. I love those sort of things, even if it's really obvious about things happening. I like it. I like fluffy contemporary books. I just love the romance, you know? So yeah, this I want to read. Roxy by Alex London. It's about time that I picked up this book with the new cover. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. But I believe this is a dystopian book. And it just sounds really interesting. I know there's Guardian as well, which is the sequel. But, oh, it's about time I picked up Roxy. And I saw it and I was like, you know what, I need to read that book. And finally this last book I've heard absolutely fantastic things about, and it was another auto pick up because I've been meaning to pick this book up. This is Elusive by Emily Lloyd-Jones, and just it sounds really, really cool. An age of real superheroes here to solve the humanity's problems, but there was one flaw, and with that reasoning, human physiology was altered, human nature wasn't. And there's a good old quote here from Jennifer Rush, who's the author of Altered, what the hell, there's a ghost in here. And she said it's really, really cool. They're young, they're criminals, and they are immune. My god, this book just sounds really cool. And I know that Lindsay Cummins, I believe, read this and said it was awesome. So guys, I'm not even going to attempt to pick up all of the books because there are way too many in this haul, and really none of these should have been purchased. No. But I am definitely excited to read all these because they're all books I would pick up and actually read, or I wouldn't buy them at all. If I am denied about it, I would have put it straight down. And honestly, there were some books I was just like, this sounds good, but actually, you know what, no, and I put it down. But yeah, all of these books I looked at and I was like, you know what, I would actually sit down and read any of these books. So I don't know which one I'm going to start with, but to be honest, if only I could read them all at once. If only there was a way that I could do that. But then again, that is kind of why I'm starting to read 2 books at once now. But hopefully I can get some of these read pretty damn soon. I'm so excited to read a lot of these books, and I'm just so excited. Really am excited. I'm really happy with everything. I got paid. This is what I spend my money on, and I enjoy my time buying the books. I enjoy reading books. Reading books makes me happy, so that's all I think about is retail therapy. It makes me happy. I'm a happy person. This is how I want to live. You know what? I don't really care, and there are a lot of people that are like that. Reading makes them happy. It gives you a chance to escape into the world when everything is crap and rubbish. Have a bad day at work or school or wherever, come home, read a book, and you will feel so much better, honestly. So guys, that's the end of this book haul. Let me know if you've read any of these books down below, if you would like me to read any of these books pretty damn soon. Like if there's a book and you're like, you need to read that next, then please let me know, because I honestly don't know where to start. But I hope you have enjoyed this book haul. Thank you very much for watching this big, massive, huge video, and I will see all of you in my next video.